Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Spookleye here, and we are here today with another powerful top 5. Now this top 5 is one I think I'm gonna like, and I think you're gonna like it too. It is my top 5 favorite Pokemon games. Now before I actually get started with it, this is the main games, guys. So I'm gonna be doing a video on what my favorite side games are, but these are just the main games like Fire Red Omega. Wait, not Fire Red Omega, that's a hacked ROM. I'm stupid, folks. Like Pokemon Platinum, like Red and Blue, like Yellow, stuff like that. So, pretty much, this is also my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, go ahead, post in the comments. I love to hear it. I always love seeing people's comments about what their favorite Pokemon game is, but mine just happens to be what this one is. So, let's get started. Number 5. Number 5, folks, is Pokemon X and Y. Now, you may be wondering, folks, why is Pokemon X and Y number 5 when there's so many other good options? Mostly because, like, I'll be honest with you, folks, Pokemon X and Y brought us a new level of aesthetics with 3D gaming. It brought new ideas with being able to change clothes, with it being able to ride certain Pokemon, and it was just an amazing game. It was an amazing game in that part. But the reason it's number 5 on the list is obvious enough if you look at it. For one, I feel like the game's pacing is really awkward because between the first and second gym, it takes maybe the better part of an hour if you're really slow. But then from that and then on, each gym is like maybe like 20 minutes apart, maybe 5 minutes apart if you're good. So it's just like it feels the game moves too quickly after the second gym. The next thing is the gym leaders after the third gym at the best are so forgettable. They have no personality, to me at least. They're not seen in any part of the story. They're not involved in the story. So why just the gym leaders are so bland that you don't even get to see them, which is kind of stupid because from what I understand and what I've seen, the gym leaders could have personality. According to their dialogue, they could have personality. According to everything, they could be actually very just. Sorry about that, folks. I just woke up maybe an hour ago, so my brain is not working at 100%. But yeah, pretty much the fact that it's also the story, to be honest with you. The story felt kind of like meh. So yeah, folks, the story and the bland gym leaders are the reason this is number 5. Number 4. Number 4, folks, is Fire Red, Leaf Green. Now we took a step back in time, folks, for this one. Fire Red and Leaf Green is number 4 on the list because of it's mostly nostalgia. I'll be honest with you. It was a fun game. It was good. It had just the right pacing of not too fast, not too slow. I know it was a remake of original Red and Blue, but I love this one because it added on first through third gen instead of just having the first gen only. So this was probably one of my favorite remakes of the game of Pokemon, and I can't wait to see what they're going to be doing for the 4th generation, which was one of the other favorites I had that didn't make it to the list. Now the reason it's number 4 is because it's I guess you could just say it's old. Like, I felt it was a good game, but if you beat it like too fast, you've got nothing to do. You waste your time. That and the fact that it's actually still, even if you do have it, it's hard to get like certain Pokemon that aren't from that generation. A good example is would be Sentret. You can't find a Sentret unless you beat the entire game, which kind of, in my opinion, kind of made it meh. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of reasons, but that was the most prominent ones of why Leaf Green and Fire Red made it to the slot. Number 3. Number 3, weirdly enough, is a game I think a lot of people don't care for, but I actually do. It is Pokemon Black and White. Now, folks, you may be wondering, Spook, what the hell? Why do you like Black and White? That's kind of stupid. I don't understand why I understand why people don't like black and white, because of the fact that, oh, it's a lot of words, it's a lot of text, a lot of blah 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 blah. Sorry folks, I need a sip of drink. But that's actually why I like it, because black and white made us actually, was one of the only Pokemon games I've seen that had an actual thick plot line, other than the simple, oh, team example here has taken over something, we must go stop them. No, this one had a whole idea and process to it, with N searching for his own beliefs, with Ghetsis secretly manipulating N to do what he wants, with Team Plasma wanting, with people in Team Plasma actually wanting to help liberate Pokemon, but then some of them are just assholes who want to control Pokemon. I always thought that was so interesting. The gyms were amazing. I loved how the gyms were made, even if they seemed kind of lackluster on one or two of them. I was still happy with how the designs were and how the Pokemon in this generation came out. So all in all, I am actually happy for black and white, and I guess I'm one of the rare people that do love it. Number 2. Number 2, folks, is Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now, for those of you wondering why Heart Gold, Soul Silver are number 2 in the slot, all I could say is, folks, that it was an amazing game. It was, in a lot of reasons, the main ones being, for one, it was a longer game. You can go up to, it was up to 16 gems, which I kind of wish Pokemon would do more often. I kind of wish they would make their games a little bit longer, so it's not the same routine of, oh, let's just beat the 8 gyms, that'll be nothing. If it's 16 gyms with like a boss at the end like we had with Red, then yeah, it would be pretty threatening. I'll be honest. I also love the mechanic of the Pokemon falling behind you. That was one of my favorite mechanics back then, and I hope they do it again in the future. But you never know. That's the whole fun part of it all. I guess they only did it because it was an anniversary. So next year's the 20th anniversary. Maybe they'll do something special for it. But yeah, other than that, oh Lord, I should have did this last night, folks, but I didn't have time. Other than that, and the fact that the Safari Zone is a amazing, I love this game has my favorite Safari Zone by far. The fact that you could change out the places and everything was really cool. That's about it. There's not really much else to say other than the fact that you can usually get all the Pokemon in it, and the reason it's number 2 on the list instead of number 1 is because the main reason, I guess, would be because even though we have the 16 gym badges, it's kind of sped through when we get to Kanto and do the other 8 badges. It's kind of sped through. There's no real plot behind it. It's just, hey, you beat the game. Now here's this extra stuff to do. So yeah, that's the whole reason why Heart Gold and Soul Silver are number 2 in this list. Number 1. Number 1, folks, is Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, folks, the reason I love this game is because, for one, it's a Hoenn remake, which we've all been begging for, we've all been pleading with. Especially me, because Hoenn, for those of you who don't know, was my favorite generation. It still is, to be honest with you. The only reason this beats the originals in the fact that I love that you have all these new Pokemon added in. I love the new types added in with fairy typing. I love the idea of Mega Evolution added on. It was such an amazing, it was an amazing game. The story could have been a little bit better, I admit. The story was a little meh. It was the same exact thing as Ruby and Sapphire, but I still did love it to death, and I'm so happy they did. I also love the fact that they added Rayquaza and Deoxys in that amazing, powerful-ass space battle in the end. With Deoxys just coming to Earth, and Rayquaza's like, no, this is my planet, and just like breaks the shit out of its meteor. I thought that was amazing, to be honest with you. And in all honesty, folks, this was probably one of my favorite Pokemon main games, and I'm happy that I got a chance to play it in my generation. Because let's face it, folks, if this came out like 100 years from now, a lot of us wouldn't have been able to play it, and we would have been begging for that remake till we died. That would have been horrible. But yeah, on a non awkward related topic, I love how it has 3D graphics just like X and Y, which obviously that's the next thing. The one problem I had with it, which it's understandable because it's a remake, is they didn't have changing clothes. Because Brendan changing clothes and hair, that would be cool. May changing clothes and hair, that would have been cool. But it couldn't be helped because obviously enough, like, folks, it's a remake. It had to take from what the remake would have been. It added on to it though with the Dex Nav, which is probably one of my favorite ways to shiny hunt nowadays. So I'm gonna be sad when the next games come out and it's not gonna be there. Unless they're like super smart and they add it in, but they're not gonna do that. It's Nintendo. It's Game Freak, folks. They take all the good stuff out of their games, and then they're like, here's new good stuff. But yeah, folks. Other than that, I think that's all 5. So yeah, if you're wondering why I did a top 5 this week, I'll just be honest with you. A top 10 took so much time to put together. I just decided to do a top 5 this week to see how well the timing would be. But yeah, if you have an idea for the next top 5/top 10 you want me to do, make sure you go post in the comments down below. I'd love to see it. Other than that, folks, I think it's time I do my outro though. So, if you did enjoy this video and you want to help support the channel, make sure you go hit that like button. It shows you appreciate the content. So, other than that, if you are also new to the channel and you want your daily dose of Pokemon/Minecraft related content, make sure you also go hit the subscribe button. Other than that, folks, I think it's time we disappear. So, I'm Spookleye, and folks, I'll see you all in the next video. Stay spooky, folks!